Hello.
Welcome to our show. We don't have a theme song yet, but we will very soon.
Yeah, we'll have one Sunday.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Scrap the
I
whole
was
thing.
I was recording it, so I'm recording this, so we have it for posterity.
Less is more. Less is more. Hi, everybody. So here's how tonight's going to work. Thank you so much for being here, first of all. This is our dry run, our test run, our show number 0 for our new podcast, which isn't that much different from our live stream. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's totally different.
Yeah,
We'll see.
It'll be a little different, I think, but maybe not too crazy. Not too crazy different. So
Yeah. I mean, there's still music. It's still us sitting here.
Yeah. True enough.
Differences. We're going to tell more stories. We're going to tell you some tips and tricks of what we do.
Yep.
As musicians. We're going to have a guest once a week. A special guest. They're going to come and tell you one of their stories. And then we're going to have a show and tell feats section, which I'm super excited about. I don't know. I mean, this is our test run, so we're going to see how it goes. We don't have a guest tonight.
We don't have a guest. We don't have a theme song. So we're kind of a skeleton crew here.
Yeah.
And I'm manning the camera angle, so they may not catch up with what we're doing because I don't know what we're going to do. So we'll just do what we can from there.
It's live. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
And it will happen.
Yeah, we're doing a live podcast because we thought that was a good idea. So I'm immediately regretting it. So normally Thursdays we're gonna keep in the old-fashioned format, the old-fashioned COVID-19 format of Ed and I just kind of sitting here and playing some music for you guys, very casually. But tonight we're doing our dry run. Sunday marks the official start of our podcast at 1:00 Pacific time.
Yep.
But anyway.
So yeah, we'll have the theme song and we'll have guest stuff going on and it'll be just as fun.
And there is a section which we will cue you on where you can request your songs, and with that we're going to kind of go through the chat and see what you guys are saying in the chat, because we're going to keep that into that section so we can make sure we get through everything that we have planned, because me in particular, I get very distracted, and I know I start talking about something and then I see something somebody says and I'll respond to that, and then I won't go back to the other thing. So I'm trying to not do that. So we have sections where we check the chat. So keep talking. We'll see it when we get to that section. Keep requesting songs. If we can't get to them today, we'll get to them on Thursday next week. And I think that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Good start. Well, shall we start off with some music, Ed?
Yeah. Let us do that.
I mean, we still like music. Don't worry. We also have made set lists. It's a big deal. As you know, we have not been doing that.
No. No, we haven't.
Which is always so painful for us, because we'll just sit there and go, what do you want to play? Are you ready, Ed?
Yep.
This is called Ghosts of Germantown. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. slipped under my door, and I hope to God you'll know someone will study the planted while you're wondering what the hell happened here. Where we are now. There goes up Germantown. There goes up Germantown. There goes up Germantown. Nice. I love that you play bass on that song now.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first I kind of missed the guitar, but now I think I'd miss the bass.
Yeah, I like playing the bass on it. I'm adjusting the volume just to make sure people can hear it okay.
So, I just wanted to remind you guys that since this is show number 0 and you are our test audience, we do want to know your thoughts on all of this as we go along. What works, what doesn't, suggestions on how to make it better, or what you guys want to hear, if there's anything we're missing from the podcast that you think you might want to hear. Our goal is we want to make this a well-rounded podcast, so it's not necessarily about Witherword. Obviously we're playing music and we're telling stories from our road stories, but that's why we're inviting guests on, and we're also hopefully going to be telling you guys some things that you may not know that might be interesting to hear, like in the tips and tricks segment of our show. But if there's anything else that you think that we should add or subtract from this list, please do let us know, because as it's show 0, we're still kind of working it out. So now is a good time to do that.
Yep. So I'm just checking the thing here.
Well, I'm trying to find those lyrics to the other song we're going to do, and my iPad froze. No. That's terrible.
iPad froze?
Yeah, it's just thinking really hard on right here, and it won't stop thinking.
Think harder.
Or stop thinking.
Think harder, iPad.
I don't want you to think anymore. I didn't even... Okay. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, so we're the main deal with this, we want to try and still do our music, but also start talking about music and the industry that we inhabit. And of course, right now it's a little crazy, as you might expect, especially me in Arizona, and things are really, really crazy here. Not much better in California, but we can. This also kind of serves as a little bit of a nice, highlighted to what we do. Hopefully, it'll be helpful to musicians as well as our regular audience.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start, sharing some things that we've done on the road and other little stories. So.
Yep. Including, I think we've got a full story behind our podcast title, Crimes Against Folk, but I think we'll save that for episode number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, but it's if you guys have noticed our logo, we think it's pretty funny because it's kind of like, you know how crime podcasts are all the rage, and this is obviously not a crime podcast, but we like that we're kind of playing off of that in the photo and the title, because it's kind of funny. So I got my first like collaboration kind of sponsorship in from Instagram, and I'm pretty excited about
Oh, really?
it. Yeah.
Who's that?
I'm
With what?
wearing it. I'm wrapping it around my wrist right
Oh,
now.
Look at that.
Which
Look at that.
I had it around my neck, and obviously, and then I was like, oh, it just fell off. Oh no. And then I realized that's intentional because you can make it a bracelet too. How cool is that?
Oh.
Yeah, so this is
Convertible.
right? I'm super excited. It's a woman named Susie Stone, and she's out of New York City, and she makes this jewelry. It's precious stones, and I have one more necklace I'll wear it on Sunday
Nice.
that she sent me. And yeah, she makes all this, and she takes vintage items that she finds at like antique stores. How perfect is this for me?
Right.
And she finds them and she makes them into like more modern kind of stuff. Isn't that cool?
That's super cool.
Yeah, she's really, really, really good. Her name's Susie Stone. I think I'm not sure if her website's up. She's a brand new company. She's been making stuff forever, but she just made like her official company.
Nice.
And I'm going to be posting it on my Instagram page next week with like some cool photo shoots and stuff. So
Cool.
you guys can see. I'll share them to Facebook too, I'm sure. But Susie Stone, check it out. She's on Instagram. She's easy to find. She's just Susie Stone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Joe Bidwell.
Joe Bidwell is a fantastic musician.
Oh, man.
And
Incredible songwriter.
I bet he's got some stories to share with us. Maybe Joe will be on our podcast.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Let me know when you're ready, Ed.
Oops. Almost.
So we're doing a Simon and Garfunkel song for you right now. This is the most recent addition to our Scarborough show. Some of you guys know, some of you may not know that we do a Simon and Garfunkel tribute show, and this is the most recent song we learned, and it's also probably our most favorite at the moment. It's pretty cool, I think. It's called Richard Cory.
Oh, yeah. I guess I should bring up the lyrics for that, too.
Mine are really far away because I didn't plan this very well.
I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't at the same time. I don't know what that is.
That's reassuring.
Christamir. Yeah, it is reassuring, huh?
We'll see what happens.
Yes. Oh, come on, you.
This is the fun part about a live podcast. Is you get to hear all of the awkward moments in between, which I think is what makes it not so different from our regular live stream.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the interesting bit. Let's see. I'll just pull it up on here.
We can also pick a different Simon and Garfunkel song.
No, I want to do this one.
Okay. Yeah, I had to pull them up on my computer because I couldn't find it on my iPad.
Okay, here we go. All right. They say that Richard Cory owns one half of this whole town, with political connections to spread his wealth around. Born into society, a baker's only child, he had everything a man could want: power, grace, and style. But I worked in his factory,
and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. And I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Corey. The papers print his picture almost everywhere he goes. Richard Corey at the opera, Richard Corey at a show, and the rumor of his parties and the orgies on his yacht. Oh, he surely must be happy with everything he's got. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. And I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Corey. He freely gave to charity, he had the common touch, and they were grateful for his patronage, and they thanked him very much. So my mind was filled with wonder when the evening headlines read, Richard Corey went home last night and put a bullet through his head. But I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. And I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be, oh, I wish that I could be Richard Corey.
I really like that song.
Me too. That's a fun song.
Thanks. Martin. Thanks, Peter Martin Homer.
Oh, hey, Peter.
What's up, Fred?
All right, so if you guys are just joining us, we are in the test run of our new podcast format. So that's why we're a little bit like, now what? We'll
Yeah, we'll probably be like this for a few episodes.
yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, we get everything sorted out. But
yeah, if you're a musician and you have a very interesting or funny road story that's under 10 minutes long, you should message us because we are featuring people, musicians in particular, or like in the music industry. Or I don't know, you could be a fan too. If you guys
oh, sure, yeah. If you have a cool concert story that, you
Mhm.
met somebody cool or you had a weird experience, at a Fish concert or something, we want to hear about it.
yeah, just something music related.
Yeah.
Shoot us an email or shoot us a message and be like, hey, this is what I've got. And we'll consider it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're on to our show and tell segment. I'm really excited about this
Oh,
one.
nice.
This was Ed's idea, actually.
Yeah, well, I was going through. I was just. I think I had to re-upload my entire iCloud photo library because it'd gotten screwed up or something. And I was looking through all the photos, and my iCloud, it organizes it by year. And so I was looking through all the photos. I'm like, oh wow, look at all these old photos and the new photos from our shows and travels. And I thought, well, what if we on our page, I was thinking originally on our page, we would just post a random photo and have somebody talk about it. And then when we had this idea for the podcast, we thought, well, let's try it in the podcast. So that is what we're going to do right now. I think Ash, I'll have you go first.
So, are we doing it where I show you the photo and you tell me the story?
No, you
So
tell the
I
story.
tell the story. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll show your photo first.
Okay. Tell me when it's up there.
It's up there. You'll probably see it in like 4 seconds.
You
It
guys,
takes a
yeah,
delay.
I could see it, but it's on a delay. But you guys are probably looking at this photo right now going, what is that?
Yeah. Funny you should ask.
I will tell you what it is. So that would be a piece of toast with butter on it and chocolate sprinkles. So the story behind this photo is Ed and I were touring through the Netherlands. Was this in 2018 or was it 2019?
I think this was 18 because I think it was the first time we met Ed.
Right.
The Netherlands
yeah,
Ed. It was the
totally.
first time I think we met him.
Okay, totally. We have
Yeah,
we
because
have
he was there.
right.
'Cause the second
And the
time we
second
went,
time he
he
wasn't
wasn't
there.
there.
We have some amazing friends in Europe, and some of you guys are watching right now. So hi, we love you, we miss you. But we met this amazing guy named Ed. He's just like your typical Netherlands guy. He's like 7 feet tall, and he runs this Airbnb in that's maybe a half an hour away from Amsterdam because we went to Amsterdam to do a little radio show, and we found this beautiful Airbnb in 30 minutes away, and it was on a boat, and I was like, oh my god, Ed, we're gonna go stay on a boat in the Netherlands, absolutely. Like a houseboat. So we knocked on the door, and this guy, well, it wasn't like, no, we didn't knock on the door, we couldn't find it.
No, we couldn't find it.
It's just really difficult. It was on an old dam area. So there was like a lot of and there were army barracks from like the war, the old wars, like back like
Yeah, bunkers
everywhere.
from I think World War II era.
Right. And it was just really complicated. It wasn't really meant for cars, even though you could go in a car. So we didn't know that. And he showed up on his bicycle, and he flags us down, and he's like, just follow me, and just takes off on his bicycle. Like, we were like, whoa, we couldn't keep up with him in our car. He was going so
He was
fast.
going about I think I was going at 40 kilometers an hour, and I was struggling to keep up.
I mean, Netherlands and their bikes, man. I mean, they really know how to use those things. So,
Yeah, for sure.
So we stayed on his boat, and it was amazing. And he had like a little garden out back, and he had chickens, and I mean, it was right on the canal, which was so cool. And he was the nicest guy. And we shared a bottle of wine, and chatted, and he had really crazy stories. So anyway, in the morning, we wake up, and he's like, well, I'll have a breakfast spread out for you on the picnic table out in the garden. We're like, sounds lovely. So we go outside, and he brings out like a loaf of bread, a bunch of butter, and chocolate sprinkles.
2 varieties of sprinkles. There were
Right.
chocolate and there was something else.
And Ed actually wasn't there yet. It was just me, and I'm looking at this spread, and then Ed comes out, and he sits down next to me, and I look at Ed, and I go, Ed, that's bread and butter, and that's sprinkles, like chocolate sprinkles. And Ed looks at me deadpan, and he goes, yeah, well, how else are you going to get the sprinkles onto the bread if you don't have the butter as the emulsifier? I was like, have you done this before? And he's like, no, but I'm going to. And I'm like, so I was just, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't putting sprinkles on bread and butter. And then we left, and I was like, I wonder if that's a that guy thing or if this is a Netherlands thing.
Yeah.
So we get to our next stop in the Netherlands, which was Peter and Lenny's. And
that was in Steendam. Yep.
Yep. Steendam.
Yep.
And says Ed with a perfect accent. And also awesome couple. We
Yeah, they're
played a
great.
beautiful show there. We absolutely loved it. And then I asked him, I said, okay, well, this is what happened this morning at Ed's house. So my question for you is this a Netherlands thing, or is this a that guy thing? And he said, no, it is absolutely a Netherlands thing, and it is amazing. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to serve you bread and butter with sprinkles on it. And he served it, and I just had to try it at that point, and it was delicious. And I felt gypped. I was like, why aren't we doing this? I mean, we have all these sugary cereals here. Surely we can have sprinkles in the morning too. I mean, we
Yeah.
do it on Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, we tried. We tried to do it with Pop Tarts, and it's just not the same.
It's not. No, because they don't use the right kind of sprinkles too. Those are those
No.
like gross, like hard ones.
Yeah, that's true,
Right?
mother hen. That was the first time we had encountered this in the world. It is really good.
It was. I totally recommend it.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you go to the store in the Netherlands and you look at the box of sprinkles, it's like full on a piece of toast is on with sprinkles on it is like the logo on the sprinkle thing. That's just their thing. It's what they do. And they have varieties for children because apparently the chocolate sprinkles is for the adults. Which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's what that photo is.
Just one more time. Yeah, that was really fun. And that photo in particular, that is from Peter and Lenny's place.
Yeah, because I actually ate it there.
Yeah, because you had it there. Yeah, that's cool. That was cool. And we wound up staying at Ed's place again on our 2019 tour. He wasn't there, unfortunately, but he let us stay there anyway, which is pretty cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was nice to be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so it's time for my photo.
Your turn.
So here's my photo. Bing.
It's me.
That is Ashley, as you guys know. You recognize her. And a little tea set at a street cafe. And this particular photo, there is one of me as well on the other side. I think we put both. We did like a split screen kind of one for Instagram or something. But this was taken in Bruges. That same trip. And Bruges is in Belgium. And this was part of our grand tour. Our grand tour to get the Subaru and get it back to England. So when we first landed in Europe, we first got into England, and we only found out about the Subaru thing like a month beforehand. We had kind of planned around not getting it, but we kind of had to scramble and just make sure, okay, we've got it. Now how do we get there? So we all landed and went to an Airbnb. This was Stephanie and Lisa came with us for the England part of the tour. This was in 2018. And we got in and went to bed kind of early, Ash and I. Then we got up at like 3 a.m. and went to the train station, hopped on a train, and took a train all the way to Brussels, to Subaru Europe headquarters, where we met the marketing manager and the contact there and the VP of marketing, right?
Yes.
At the time, the VP of marketing for Subaru Europe, and had a really great chat. We signed our contract. It was really fun. Like, I don't think we'd ever had like a signing contracts moment in our band like that.
Especially with like a big company like that. It was really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And so we did that, and they gave us these little toy cars, which was really fun too. And these little toy Subarus, and then went out to get our big non-toy Subaru. And then we had the task of getting that Subaru back to England that day, and because the next day we had to be in Wales for our first show. So We had gotten a tip. I believe we heard. Was it from Troy?
No, it was from Alex Segala.
Alex Segala. Right, right. I think Troy had been there, like, or he grew up there, or was born there, or something.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? He might have also given it to us, and we heard it from two people, and we're like, okay, well, we're
Yeah.
gonna go.
And they said go to Bruges if you're in the area. Which luckily it was right on the way from if you're taking a drive from Brussels to back to England. Bruges is right on the way, as is Ghent, I think, as well. So we decided to stop in Bruges and had a wonderful lunch at this sidewalk cafe and had some Belgian chocolate, authentic Belgian chocolate, at an awesome little chocolate shop in the town. This was one of the coolest places I think we went that year because it was just this awesome small little European town, old as all get out. We could walk around the whole place, which was really fun. So yeah, Bruges was really, really cool. And then we continued on our way back to England and then went to Wales the next day.
And I remember that moment because it was so, I just remember we were sitting there, like I think we were really high off the whole experience. We weren't like dead to the world because it was all just so exciting. And I remember just sitting in that square with Ed just being like, oh, we have a Subaru and we're sitting in Bruges having open face sandwiches and tea right now.
Yeah, like that's not something I think either of us ever would have guessed we would do.
Yep.
That confluence of things. So yeah, I do too, Christopher. It's cool to see all the bikes there. That was one of the crazy things about being in Belgium and the Netherlands is there's just tons of bikes everywhere. And Netherlands especially, like holy crap. There are so many bikes there. It's terrifying actually. If you're walking around, you have to look for bikes everywhere or else you're getting run over.
And then you have the cars to worry about too.
Yeah, cars, tiny cars that can ride on the bike paths, and then bikes and pedestrians. It's a madhouse. But Bruges was cool because it was mostly foot traffic. I mean, there were cars there, but the part we were in was mostly foot traffic, which was really fun. So I like that part.
Yeah, me too. I think Amsterdam. I mean, the Netherlands in general is pretty chilled out. I think Amsterdam's just really, really densely populated with so many people. So it's crazy there, but it's still really cool. I think this past trip we got to go to Harlem, which was really neat. We had to take care of some stuff. So we got to go to cool.
Actual Harlem.
What were we doing there?
We were I think I had to, it's like business stuff, and we had to pick up something. You had to print something. That's what it was.
Oh, right. We had to go to a copy store, and and then we had, I can't remember. We had to do something else too. But yeah, that was cool. And then we went on the little boat tour. We're like,
of Amsterdam.
We're like, let's do one super touristy thing, just one, and that we picked that one, and it was a good thing to do.
Well, we had time this time. We didn't have time the last 2018. We just didn't have time to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did that last year.
Yeah, to see it.
Not this year, because wouldn't happen. Anyway, should we move on to the next segment there, Ed?
Yeah, sure.
This is, we're playing the video, right? This isn't live, right? This is the...
I don't think we're doing one of those this time.
Okay. Oh, right. We're doing that later.
Yeah.
Sorry, like show zero, test audience. We're going to play some music for you. Are we going to do the anchor?
Sure. Because I know that's the video we got coming up, but
all right.
I think it'd be fun to do it, and then everybody can see the video too.
You get both versions.
Yeah, you get the cool version and this version. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Christopher. I was, you don't see a lot of that in America. It depends on where you are. New York City, you do. You see a lot of biking around Colorado. You see a lot of biking around, but Portland, Seattle, but nothing even close to what you see in Amsterdam.
I mean,
not even close.
Full on lane, like dedicated bike lanes with traffic lights.
Yeah, they have their own traffic lights and their own little streets that are part of the sidewalk, which is amazing.
Yeah. Which again, as a pedestrian, you're like, okay, gotta wait for the bicycle light and it's just a lot. It's dangerous to be a pedestrian in Amsterdam. Let me tell you something.
Well, like in Amsterdam and in some cities in Germany too, like they have specific areas of the sidewalk that you're supposed to walk on because the other area is reserved for the bikes. So you really have to watch out. Otherwise, you're gonna get run over. All right.
I don't think we've done this song in a while, so this will be fun to perform for you guys. This is called The Anchor. There's an anchor at the bottom of the ocean, staring up at the roof of the sea, at the ship casting shadows on its garden, at the bottles and ropes and weeds. And the anchor is covered in coral. She's been waiting there for way too long, for the ship to pull up on her heartstrings, to the sun where she belongs.
How long will she wait for the
Rock on her knees.
How long can she hold her breath?
Before they all think she's dead, she can hold on to.
But you won't believe the ship is you.
And the anchor is me. And the ship has forgotten the anchor. And our sailors cast her over the side. And now as he sails for the harbor, he slowly drags her behind.
How long will she wait for the
Rock on her knees.
How long can she hold her breath?
Before they all think she's dead, she can hold on to.
But she won't believe the ship is you.
And the anchor is me. There's a snail at the bottom of the ocean. He's been chewing on strings in the weeds. Pick the last one like a rubber band gun and set the anchor free.
How long will she wait for the wind?
Buckle her knees.
How long can she hold her breath?
Before they all think she's dead, she holds on to.
and now she knows the snail is you.
And the anchor is free.
Cute.
Nice. So we can either play another song or move. The next segment we're skipping right over today. This is normally where we will have our special guest on.
Yeah.
So we'll either do one or two songs there, depending. I mean, I think our show and tell section went a little long, so I think if we had a guest, we would probably only do one song right now. But since, I don't know, maybe we could do another song since we don't have a special guest. But normally, what we're going to do in the guest section is we're going to, we're asking our guests to pre-record their story so they can get it out the way that they want it to and get multiple takes doing it, because we know how important stories are to people. So on top of that, we might end up trying to give some of them a call if we can. We haven't worked that quite out yet, so hopefully we'll have that worked out by Sunday. But that'll be. I'm really looking forward to this segment when we get it together. It'll be really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Give me 1 second here. I need to disconnect the Jamulus real quick. You'll still be there, but I need to disconnect mine. So hang on, everybody.
We're losing Ed.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, good.
That
wasn't very long.
I think I know what was causing the little thingy, the little problem.
What thingy?
Crackly problem.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was the my Jamulus was set to, because my Jamulus is what everyone's hearing.
Okay.
So, and mine was the inputs and outputs were set wrong. So
it does sound a lot cleaner to me, actually.
Yeah.
So that could be in my head.
No, I hear it. It doesn't. Yeah, it sounds all right to me. Cool.
Well, do you want to do another song, Ed?
Yeah, I think I put. Did I put one on there?
Yep, you put No Surprises down.
Sure.
So just heads up that the next segment is our, since we're skipping over the guest appearance, the next segment is the request segment. So we will do 2 request songs after this one.
Yeah, throw your requests in now.
Yep. Throw them out there.
We'll
We
see
can
if
only
you
get to
want
2, so if we get more, and we'll try to do them next week, at the Thursday show, or possibly
right.
Sunday show.
A heart that's full up like a landfill, a job that slowly kills you, bruises that won't heal. You look so tired and unhappy. Bring down the government. They don't speak for us. I'll take the quiet life, a handshake of carbon monoxide with no alarms and no surprises. No alarms and no surprises. No alarms and no surprises. Silence.
This is my final fit, my final bellyache with no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. Such a pretty house and such a pretty garden. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. No alarms and no surprises, please.
Yes, I know, computer. I haven't backed up.
So your computer's talking to you now, huh? Guess it was only a matter of time.
Oh, we talk often. It's not always so pleasant. That's one thing you have to, I don't typically curse out people or get angry at people, but I definitely get angry at my computer.
Brad's the same way
Oh, really?
with electronics. Yeah, he's so funny because for a martial artist, he's like really, really even tempered. Except for when it comes to his electronics, it gets a little scary sometimes. I mean, I'm never afraid for me. I'm afraid of the electronics because one time he full on like he bought this like new. It wasn't an iPad. It was like a knockoff iPad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working. And so he like punched it and he broke the screen.
Nice.
I was like, dude. And he's like, well, I didn't hit it that hard. I'm like, yes, you did.
He doesn't have to hit it that hard.
He was so mad at himself that he couldn't control it.
That's so funny. You went full Office Space on it, huh?
He did. He went full Office Space. Yep. So Alice requested "Dream of Sleeping."
Okay. We did.
Didn't
work
we?
on that.
Yeah,
I can't remember. You're trying to remember if we worked on it.
I
We
think-
did work on it, but
we did, and
did we play it last time? Like last time or the time before?
Alice, did we play it?
You will remember better than we would. I think so. I think so. No, we just practiced it. I think. Oh, I can't remember. Arg.
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Well, I do today because we're streaming.
I didn't know what time it was. Let's see. Hang on. I think.
Yeah, we lowered it an octave.
Oh, that's right. We lowered it a lot. Oh crap! I can't remember where we put it. I remember where it was before. I think that's.
I was chatting with Chris Demir on Instagram yesterday, and he's
Yeah.
like, you know, you can just call me Itzo, because nobody calls me Christomir, but I'm having a really hard time with it. 'Cause apparently, I also say Christomir wrong, and so do you, Ed. By the way,
No, I figured I did.
it's
I'm not Bulgarian.
yeah. Apparently, you drop the ch,
Oh,
Istomir.
really?
right? Which is cool. Am I
Oh,
saying it
that's
right now?
Fascinating.
Istomir,
Istomir?
which is where Itzo comes from. Which I'm probably not saying that right either.
Istomir. Really?
I knew Ed would find this fascinating because he
Ah.
really likes linguistics.
No, you don't drop it?
What? You don't drop it?
Oh.
I thought you said you drop it. I'm so confused now. Maybe he just meant you drop it for the Itzo part. I don't know. I don't understand things anymore.
Oh, like the Spanish J. Ristomir? What about the R?
Histo? Wait, how do you do that? I can't think of the Spanish J
Well,
now.
Ristomir. I bet it's provincial. I bet that's provincial.
Oh, apparently Americans can't say his name right, which
We
is
don't
why
have
he
the-
did the nickname.
We don't have those syllables.
I know.
Americans don't have them.
God, I have this this couple friend of mine, Lita and Mariusz, and I know I love that name, but apparently I'm still not saying it right, and I keep trying, and so it just comes out different every single time, which I'm pretty sure he just finds hilarious. But I also think he appreciates me trying because he does like his actual name, and I can't remember I think sometimes he's just, when people are like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Mike." It's not, but he just doesn't feel like dealing with
Like
it.
Hristomir?
Oh,
Yeah, because it'd be like Juan
Hristomir.
Hristomir.
Oh, Histomir.
Yeah, when there's just it is. Yeah, right. It is like an H, like a kind of a weird H that we don't really have.
Oh, French confuses me too because then they do pronounce their J's. So every time I'm in France and I make the J silent, and then my sister's always, because she lives in France, she's always like, no.
Yeah, they're very pronounced in French. Those J's.
I'm just stalling because I can't find the lyrics to "Dream of Sleeping," but I think I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay, I'm pulling them up too.
I don't know what my book is.
There we go. Lyrics master. Dream of sleeping is. Where are you? Sorry. I kind of remember it, but then
I just never know where I put my book with the lyrics, and I feel like it's gonna take too long to pull it up.
oh, there it is. Woodward lyrics master new. That's what I was looking for. Gimme. Oh, jeez. Oh, wait. I know where that is. Well, because I do definitely think we should try that one. Well, they're all in OneDrive, that's why.
This is fun, huh? Live podcast. I think we can. So we're gonna post this weekly as audio on some podcasting. I can't say this sentence. Sites like Spotify and Podbeam or whatever. But whatever you're on. So I wonder if we can edit it down a little bit. We'll have to see about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll probably have to. At
Sounds
some
like
point.
more work for you, though.
Yeah, whatever. That's so it goes. Daggone it.
Can't find it, eh?
Just is being obstinate.
What was the other one you said? Did you say deaf, dumb, and blind? Or am I imagining
I didn't, but maybe somebody else did.
that? Maybe. Ooh.
Da-da-da.
63. I found it.
Oh, you found it? Nice. I'm looking for it too. Sorry.
It's page 63.
63. Pink. Okay. Yeah, I think I lowered it. Like, here's the chorus.
Those were the days. It might be one.
Ooh, I don't know if I can do it one lower.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. No, one's good. Those were the days. No, that's plenty fine.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. Tired of constant confusion. Wide and wide awake too. I tried, still I don't know how to fall asleep without you. Time made us an illusion, blind by the moon. If I knew then what I know now, I'd probably mess up anyhow.
And those were the days even God couldn't save. These are the ways I dream of sleeping. Love, I'm not waiting. I'll sleep with the stars because they want me now. And I'll worry later how.
Eyes slowly closing, wide shot through the night. Light, a slideshow stuck in my head. Pictures of you to forget.
Those were the days even God couldn't save. These are the ways I dream of sleeping. Love, I'm not waiting. I'll sleep with the stars because they want me now. And I'll worry later how.
it swallow as you float away. Oh, the stones go in my pocket, weigh me down below the lake. Don't choke on my empty locket, swallow as you float away. Oh, the stones go in my pocket, weigh me down below the lake. Don't choke on my empty locket, swallow as you float away.
Nice.
I love that song.
How'd that feel? Is that all right?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
What do you? Well, yeah, audience. What do you think?
How'd it feel for you guys?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. As long as it wasn't too
Yeah.
high for you in the chorus.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kent. We already did Ghosts of Germantown. We'll do it again on another one.
We got 2 from Music Monster.
Do you feel like doing Music Monster?
Yeah, we can do it. We haven't done it in a while.
It never feels like doing Music Monster, so this is a big deal.
We won't do it for a while after this.
Yeah, don't get used to it. It's just funny. It's one of those songs where we just played it so much after we wrote it
Mm-hmm.
that we just didn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more okay with it now. I think you got to take the guitar in this though, because I don't know where that little sheet is where I wrote it down, and there's no way I'm going to remember it.
That's fine. I can do that. Oops. All right. I do have the lyrics here. So again, I can't remember if I ever remember this one or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear the trouble, the damage is done. There in the distance, the beat of the drums. They say a broken heart unleashes the beast. You better watch out when the guitar's released.
I've got a song about it.
This band of heartbreak,
You've got a record and it's playing straight to my face. We could have had a rhythm,
but you are out of time.
if I can't get you, let the music monster make you mine.
The music monster creeps through the night, playing its heart out and wanting your life. You did me dirty, look what I've turned into. Close your eyes when it's coming for you.
I've got a song about
This band
it.
of heartbreak,
You've got a record and it's playing straight to my face. We could have had a rhythm,
but you are out of time.
if I can't get you, let the music monster make you mine.
Deep in the basement, just at
out of sight. I summon the monster and begin to write.
Ah. Gotta read the lyrics. Don't have much, but I've got a pen.
I've got a song about it.
This band of heartbreak
You've got a record and it's playing straight to my face. We could have had a rhythm.
but you are out of time.
If I can get you, let the music monster make you mine.
I've got a song about it.
And of heartbreak,
You've got a record and it's playing straight to my face. We could have had a rhythm.
but you are out of time.
If I can't get you, let the music monster make you mine.
I thought I had all the lyrics, and I realized at like the very last second that I didn't know that bridge. Apparently, that was funny. It's live. You never know what's gonna happen.
That's funny. Yeah, that's something we run into often. Oh man.
Oh God. Oh, and hi Emma and John and Nancy. So yeah, I know time to come back to Portland when
The world's not on fire.
yeah. We will be in all of your locations again when the world's not on fire, exactly. All right, so we're moving on to, and I'm clocking that we had requests in for Sleeping with Shadows. We already did the Anchor, but if we don't get to Sleeping with Shadows tonight, then we'll do it on Sunday or next week. But we are moving on to, if you're just joining us, we're in our testing phase of our new podcast, which is going to happen on Sundays at 1 p.m., which is still going to have lots of music. It's just incorporating more road stories, some behind the scenes stuff, and a guest appearance every week. So we're kind of testing the new segment. How's it going so far? For those of you who've been here from the start, let us know. We're moving on to segment number 7, which is and tricks. So once a week, we are going to talk about something that we do behind the scenes. So whether that's like a road hack, a studio hack, or just something
Life hack.
Life hack. Basically a hack. Any hack.
You're gonna hack.
We're going to hack it up. But yeah, or just like something that you may not know about, that either we're hoping to get a lot of musicians in particular interested in this podcast. We want more musicians watching us, so we figured, okay, let's give away some of our secrets, and also fans and just anyone who doesn't know us might be interested in this podcast to hear about something that musicians do behind the scene that you guys may not know about. So
Yeah.
right.
This time we are going to be talking about BandLab, which is something that Ashley told me about and
I'm obsessed
has
with it.
been extremely active on.
Oh yeah. I'm a featured artist, in fact.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know if I still am, but I was for most of June.
Cool. Well, if you're go ahead and just talk a little bit about what BandLab is first of all.
So first of all, you can check it out. They have they have an app called BandLab, and they have bandlab.com. If you go to bandlab.com, I discovered it on accident because I got a new phone, and my old phone had a voice, like a recording thing built into it, and my new phone didn't have it. And I was writing a new song, and I needed to sing it into my phone. So I went onto the App Store and I looked up, voice memos. And this was one of the first things that came up that had really good reviews, and I was like, perfect. So I went in, I got it on the App Store, and I recorded my first memo, and then it said like save and publish, and I was like, well, all right, and I published it, and then all of a sudden, people started like commenting on it, which it was not something that I wanted anybody to hear. I mean, it was just like like singing like random stuff in my phone, so I can remember it later. And so I deleted it real quick, and I was like, oh, this is social, interesting. So basically, I discovered this whole world of musicians on BandLab, and there's a lot of stuff you want to kind of scroll right past, but there's a lot of really, really good musicians on there. I got really lucky, and I met this amazing producer named Rob Chadwell, who, if you go to my solo page, I released an electronic track with him called Becoming, and I did a little music video for it with a little mirror trick involved. And I mean, I electronic music isn't really something that I listen to, but I really thought it was a beautiful track, and I wrote a song and I sang on it with lots of stacks of harmony. And he's a brilliant mixer and master, and it was fun working with him. And then he kind of introduced me to a bunch of other people, and apparently you can collaborate with all kinds of people on BandLab, including Edward Williams. So I convinced Ed to sign up, and it's great because, especially for people who aren't so I think you have to be like a little bit tech savvy to work it out.
A little bit, but not terribly so.
Yeah, just basically like my level. Because I am not, I could probably learn like Pro Tools and stuff. It would just take me a lot longer to figure out than something like this. Let's put it that way. So you invite people to be collaborators. So I could like put a little guitar track and a little vocal track down, and Ed kind of helped me get my little mixer, and which is in this drawer right here, which is flashing, and I kind of hooked everything up to it, which was great for the live streams too. But I could put vocals and guitar down, and then I could send that off to people by just adding them as a collaborator. Like if Ed and I are actually working on some songs in BandLab, and I see when he does a revision, he just clicks save, and then it automatically goes to me. And I go, oh, Ed's working on this, cool. And then I go back and send something to him, and you can work back and forth with anybody in the world. And I have now collaborated with Rob Chadwell is in Florida. He's the closest person I've collaborated with besides Ed. I collaborated with somebody in Vancouver, as in Canada. I've collaborated. There's actually like a little side band I started in BandLab called Kaleidoscope Hearts. And the woman is in it is a very beautiful pianist, and she's in South Africa. And then there is our like mixing guy. He kind of makes our tracks interesting and different, and he's in Manchester, England. And then I recently I've done something with somebody in Italy. I've worked with somebody in India.
Oh, nice.
And and then recently I'm working with this guy in Brazil.
Cool.
And he's just kind of making tracks and sending them to me, and I'm just singing on top of them. And it's an interesting new way to write for me, to like get a full track and then just sing on top of it. It's easy. But then I'm stretching my legs a little bit too. Like I released 2 tracks on the BandLab page that I put the entire thing down on it myself. So I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I did like drums, bass, mock drums and bass, and then mock electric, and then acoustic, and lots of harmonies. And I put the whole thing together and released it. And it sounds okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. And one of the tracks I have on there has 6,000 plays on it.
Oh, wow.
Right? I'm like, I've never had 6,000 plays on anything in my life.
Which one is that?
Becoming.
Oh, Becoming. Okay.
Yeah, BandLab really liked that one. They made it their one of their featured songs, and then they made me a featured artist, and it keeps like appearing in a bunch of playlists because you can make playlists on there. So
Oh, I see. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
yeah, it's kind of exciting.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, for any of you audio folks or music folks out there, the interesting thing about BandLab is, it's got this social element to it, but in the browser, whatever browser you're using, they recommend Chrome, but you can use it in other stuff. Well, actually, no, sorry, they restrict it to Chrome. So Chrome or the new Microsoft Edge, and the nice thing is it has a full audio recording software in the browser. It uses a couple of little tricks to delay compensate when you need to. Otherwise, it's a little difficult to record without it. And you can just record tracks in, and using an interface or using your phone or using your your microphone on your laptop or your whatever, and yeah, then you invite people in and they can record in. It's not just like they're recording into a weird file, like they're recording into a mixing session, basically a recording session that you would see in something like Pro Tools or Logic, which works reasonably well. From my experience, it's kind of neat. Like for me personally, I still do the bulk of my work in Logic, but I'll export it and I'll just throw it in there, which is easy to do. You just drag it and drop it in there. It's super easy.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you just export, you bounce the file, and then you just drag the WAV file in there, and then it uploads and well, actually, it loads it in immediately, and then I think it converts it and uploads it. So yeah, like if you don't have any software, like say you usually interfaces like the one that Ashley has and the one that I have, they come with software, but they if you don't know how to use it, some of the software is pretty intimidating. If you don't know how to use it, BandLab is really simple. It's dead simple. It's easy to use. So it is a good option for people who maybe don't have access to Pro Tools or, don't feel comfortable using something like Logic or even GarageBand. It's really impressive actually how it works. Yeah, and yes, you can stream on BandLab. It's a little weird to do it right now, but you can do it. I've watched a couple of streams.
I forgot we were gonna do that. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll try
me
that
too.
for Sunday.
Yeah, we can try that for Sunday because
Alright.
we have to set it up. I think we have to set it up each time. We can't just set it up once and go. Mm-hmm. But you can do it, and then it gets broadcast to your followers and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're probably going to do it because, we have a Witherword band page, but it's not like Facebook where it's like an actual page. You still have to do it so we'll probably do it from my page because I have the most followers on there. So,
Yeah. So if you're a musician and you're looking for new outlets to collaborate with people, BandLab is a really good option because they make it easy to find people and connect with people, and then they make it easy to record your ideas together, which is the important part. Instead of having to record and share sessions and all that stuff, that's could get kind of messy. No DAW I've seen has really gotten that right. So doing it through the browser is probably the best way for now, and especially with everyone locked down, it's about the only way a lot of sessions are going to happen. So it's a really neat place.
Yeah, and one of the things that I hear the most about, like when people comment on particularly the tracks that I do with people in in other countries, they'll be like, I'm so thankful for BandLab because this music would not exist without it. And they're totally right.
Wow.
And people are doing some really creative stuff on there. And there's you can do what's called forking tracks. So you can take other people's tracks and you can and like if they'll allow it, and you can fork it. So I did this song with the first song I did with Rob Chadwell was called Soul Mask, and because I forked his, I left mine open to fork. So I sang on top of his track, and then I published it as forkable, and which apparently somebody took my track and sang on top of my track. And I'm gonna say this in episode 0. I don't think I would say this in any other episode, or we would edit it out later because I feel bad criticizing anybody for their artistic creations. But oh boy, I was like, it literally sounded like a dying whale was singing on top. It was weird. It was weird. Like this guy came on and just started basically moaning over my track and then published it, and I got alerted to it. I was like, what is this? I can't even. So I don't think I'm gonna fork. I put a couple of our stuff up there as able to fork, but I might change it after that because that really was just I don't think I'll be doing that again.
So for anyone wondering, that term, if you are a software developer, you will probably be familiar with the term forking if you use GitHub or something like that. It allows you, in the sense of BandLab, it allows you to basically take ownership of a version, your own version of somebody's mix, and make your own and publish it as your own. So you're kind of checking it out and making some changes and then putting it out there. So it's a nice way to kind of, let a community build on top of what you've started. So let's say you did start with a guitar part and you're like, hey, everybody, I don't know what to do with this. I'm making this forkable. Just have at it. And then the community can just pull in the session and put their own stuff on it, and then off you go. It's off to the races. It's a system that's been used in open source software development for a very long time, and it's interesting that they kind of borrowed that model for making songs. It's a pretty cool twist on creating on collaborative working. So it's a really cool. You should really check it out.
It is cool. And Rob Chadwell said, because he'll do that, he'll create beats and put them out there for rappers and singers to create on top of. And I asked him, I was like, well, why do you do that? Because you created this thing and then you just basically just give it to anybody who wants it. I mean, like hundreds of people could take his track and write a song on it and then release it. And then he's just given up his rights to the song because he gave it away. And his response to that, I mean, I think they have to credit him as a songwriter on it. Like if they're going to make money off of it and monetize it on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, I think they could get in trouble if they don't do that as a songwriter. But he said, I love giving, he said, first of all, I can always make another one. Second of all, which is, spoken from somebody who doesn't do music full time, I guess. But I don't know. I think I would feel differently about that. But but I think that's a nice way to think, especially because he's so brilliant at it. And by the way, he should make a living at it, 100%, because he's that good. And also, he said, I love a good singer. I love good singers and art, like vocalists, basically, because he works with rappers too. And he said, I just love giving them, a lot of singers in particular don't know how to make their own tracks. And so I love being able to give that back to the world of singers because I appreciate singers so much. And I really, really respected that he said that because, often singers get criticized for not being able to make their own tracks. So it was really refreshing to hear that. And we need more Rob Chadwells out there in the world. Just saying.
That's true. And to go back to the forking thing, it's reminiscent of how, I'm not an expert on this, but it's reminiscent of how Creative Commons licensing works. If you're not familiar with that, it was created as an alternative to the copyright system, and it has certain levels of ownership in a way that are all. It's not an all rights reserved system. It's a some rights reserved system, and then the public has certain rights as well. So, for instance, you could say, "Hey, this song is Creative Commons. It's for you. You can reproduce it. You can put it on whatever. You can use it in whatever. All you have to do is remember to say I was the one who made it." And for the forking system in BandLab is very reminiscent of that. Like, there's always kind of a chain back to the original creator, and you're sort of giving attribution by forking, and you always can see who made the previous version and who made the previous version from that. So it's kind of an interesting play. To me, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Creative Commons system. So it's really kind of a neat system. It hopefully fosters a lot of creativity amongst people. So
Yeah, and I think it has been. It's exciting
yeah,
and kind of like encouraging more people to be creative right now in particular, even if like it's not something you want to listen to, at least people are creating something. So I just wish they weren't creating it over my which I think I need to go back in there and go, don't fork this. That's my own fault. But create your own thing. I already created this.
that's yeah. It's a bit of a weird, different system. It's kind of funny. Oh man, so yeah, go ahead and check out BandLab. It's a super cool idea. If you're a creator, check it out for creating music and collaborating with people. If you're a fan, check it out to see what new music you might find, because it's actually being made there.
Yeah.
In real time, and in all from people all over the world. So you might find something cool that you would not have found anywhere else.
Go to the Explore page in particular. BandLab has created playlists of like, it'll be like best in rock, best in pop, best in rap, best in singer-songwriter, and then they have other stuff like Coffee House, and like, so you can listen. Those playlists are generally really good. Sometimes I just throw on one of those playlists and I just listen, and it's really interesting to hear what people are doing. And sometimes I'm like really impressed by those playlists, like by the songs in those playlists, and other times I think if they're in one of those playlists, they're always good, and sometimes they're great. So it's a good way to discover new independent music for sure.
Nice. Cool.
All right. Well, let's move on to segment number 8, which is our music video. I am apparently singing the segment things because I don't know. I miss our
That's
theme
fine.
song.
You're just having theme song withdrawal. That's normal.
Maybe this is my podcast thing though. Everyone's gonna be so annoyed by it.
That's fine. Episode 100, I think, if they're annoyed by it, then if they're still annoyed with it by then I'm not sure why they're still listening. But
True.
but yeah, we just typically here we're gonna either highlight a music video that we've done, something other music video we've done, or maybe a cool clip from maybe a behind the scenes clip or something, because we've got so much video. There's a lot of it, and it would be fun to show little pieces of it here and there from time to time.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that now, and tonight we will show you the music video for The Anchor, just in case you haven't seen it in a while or you haven't seen it ever. You will see it right now, so please enjoy.
There's an anchor at the bottom of the ocean, staring up at the roof of the sea, at the ship casting shadows on its garden of bottles and ropes and weeds. And the anchor is covered in coral, 'cause she's been waiting there for way too long, for the ship to pull up on her heartstrings to the sun where she belongs.
How long will she wait for the wave? How long can she hold her
Before they
breath?
all think
She
she's
can wait,
dead.
she can hold on to, but she won't believe the ship is you.
And the anchor is me. And the ship has forgotten the anchor, and how a sailor's cast her over the side. And now as he sails for the harbor, he slowly drags her behind.
How long will she wait for the wave?
Buckle her knees
How
and
long can she hold her
before they
breath?
all think
She
she's
can
dead.
she can hold on to, but she won't believe the ship is you.
And the anchor is me. There's a snail at the bottom of the ocean. He's been chewing on strings in the weeds. He bit the last one like a rubber band gun and set the anchor free.
How long will she wait for the wave?
Her knees
How long can she hold her
before they
breath?
all think
She
she's dead.
waits, she holds on to, and now she knows the snail is you.
And the anchor is
Irish jig. Back to this guy. That was
Okay.
perfect.
I'm getting tired.
All right.
Okay.
Hope you like that.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that you're loving the format, Kent. I think I'm really loving it too. It just feels more organized and more like a show.
Yeah, we can just kind of chat, which is fun. I've always, I will say one of my favorite parts when we do tour. I mean, touring is very stressful for me. It's for sure. But one of my favorite parts is when we're in the car, just kind of talking,
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts because we can just kind of chat and
Yeah.
whatever, and this actually using Jamulus helps because we can have an actual kind of conversation.
I know. I do miss that, especially when we haven't been in the car together for a while.
Yeah.
We'll just like get into some really interesting conversations. And I like I like that about other podcasts too. I like listening to like one of our favorite podcasts that we listen to on the road is Dax Shepard's
Oh yeah, armchair expert.
and he and his co-host Monica, I really like their banter back and forth and the topics that they get into and
Yeah.
talking about things that they're interested in. And I just find it really relatable. So and I kind of like at the beginning of their podcast, they didn't sell me, and the more that they got going, the more it just came together and really grew into this beautiful thing. And I hopefully that will happen with us for you guys too, and as our audience grows as well.
Yeah. So let's see. We'll do these two questions here from Nancy Jensen. When we met you, you had no home base. Where are you settled for now? Where are you settled, Ashley?
I'm in Ramona, California. So I went to so Ed and I played our last show on March 7th in we were in
That was Napa, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Napa. And then we went to, and then, the shutdown happened. And so everything was canceled immediately. And I went to Arizona to take care of my parents. My stepdad went through some heart surgery and a really bad time, obviously. But he's okay now. And I was there for 2 months. And, my boyfriend's in San Diego. And so after 2 months of being separated from him and unable to see each other because, he was still working and we didn't want him around my parents because just in case he brought anything back with him. So we decided we needed to move in together and be together. And now, so we found this little place in Ramona, and it's the country. It's about 40 minutes inland from San Diego, and we love it here. We are so happy, and everyone keeps asking us like, oh, so you guys haven't been like together, so like when you get together you're gonna just bicker all the time. And no, we do not. In fact, we're getting along better now being together all the time than the 3 years on the road, which is really interesting. It makes me feel really solid about this relationship. Like, oh, okay, not that we didn't get along before, but we just get along better, and we have this great routine, and we're both like stupidly happy. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff that you guys post, like when you're hiking and stuff. It looks really nice out there.
Oh, God. Ed, you will love it when you get here one day. I mean, it's right up your alley of a little town you would enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, I like small towns.
Yep, it's a small town. It's very quiet. It's just beautiful. I mean, there's animals everywhere, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you drive. It's windy roads, which is really fun. Little honey shops around the corner and antique stores downtown, and oh, I just love it. I'm so happy here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I am in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been renting a room from a friend of ours for a while now. I keep thinking about it, like it's been, I think, since November, and it's been really great. I actually really like Scottsdale, Phoenix area. Heat doesn't bother me none, and I like how kind of spread out the city is. It's widespread. It's designed really well. It's easy enough to get around. So, I mean, now obviously I'm not getting around much at all, but I like it here. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. So yeah, been here for a few months now.
I love that Ed moved to my hometown and I moved out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, huh?
Yeah.
The other question from
Alice. I think.
Alice, thank you. Yeah. Any plans for a seventh album or EP? Not immediately. No.
Lightly?
I mean, we're lightly. Yeah, I mean, we just using BandLab, we're kind of just throwing spaghetti against the wall right now. Seeing what sticks. So
Yeah, we
Um,
actually have a few things up on BandLab that we're kind of working on or intend to work on, but it's been a slow process. Which
yeah,
we're,
and
we're just kind of like not putting it. I mean, I think when we're ready to do it, we'll just kind of put deadlines on it. But right now, we're just throwing stuff up there and kind of going back and forth on some things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it. It is kind of nice to, like again, like I said, I do a lot of my recording in Logic, and then I'll export it and then throw it up in BandLab. But that's kind of nice because then I can do that, and Ash can listen to it, and she can mix it herself too, because obviously, Ash and I hear things differently, and so before when we would mix stuff, it's like, well, she would say, hey, let's try this, and then I would do it. But now she could just do it if she wants to and play around with effects. That's the fun part. That's one of the other fun parts about BandLab. But yeah, we're just throwing ideas around. That's
Yeah,
all we're at right now.
Just throwing spaghetti. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
But we are both staying safe. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're
both,
staying in as much as we can.
Yeah, we hardly go out, both of us. So Brad too, except to go to work. So especially Ed there in Scottsdale. I mean, I know San Diego is much better, but we're 45 minutes inland, so it is better here. And even then, we go to the grocery store with masks on, and that's it. So
Yeah. Ryan. The man.
Ryan.
From my first real band. Has it to your booty.
You should find us on BandLab, Ryan.
Yeah, I bet you do some amazing stuff in BandLab. You get your crew doing some recording.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we're both staying safe as we can. Like I said, I barely go out.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I hope you guys are staying safe too.
Oh God, Ryan, I haven't thought of that song in ages.
What song?
It's called "Why We Groove." It was on the first full length album we did. Put Your Hand on It. That was the name of the album. And yeah, I don't even know if I could play that song anymore. God, I should try that. But yeah, we're getting there. So
I think we're gonna wrap this up with a song. And thank you guys for being our test audience. And let us know if you have any suggestions, questions, or anything, any ideas or what you liked, what you didn't like about this format. Obviously, it was a little bit informal on Sunday. We're going to jump into it a little bit more seriously, and so we're still recording everything live on Facebook and Twitch and on YouTube, and then afterwards, and I'm not exactly sure when we're going to release it, we're going to put it up on as audio track, audio podcast tracks on wherever you find your podcasts. We'll be releasing that as well after the show. So once again, we are Crimes Against Folk. Dun dun dun. We will tell that story on Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific time.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nancy, Kent, Alice, Ryan. It's so Kim and Dad, and I'm not sure who else is still here. Say what's up if you're still here. We love our live audience. And if you watch the replay, thanks for watching the replay. If you're listening later, which we won't post this show on probably audio wise. Well, this is just a test run. So next one will be live. So join us on Sunday. Thank you guys. Love ya. We'll leave you with this song.
How could it all fall in one day?
Were we too sure of the sun?
If you need to, keep time on me. If you need to, keep time on me. Who knows what state is in store?
If they all turn, will you run?
If you need to, keep time on me. If you need to, keep time on me. When I need to, I'll keep time on you. Wide oceans roar, the frightened fool stokes heat, less fire. But if you need to, keep time on me. If you need to, keep time on me. How could it all fall in one day?
Were we too sure of the sun?
If you need to, keep time on me.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I like that one too, Kent. Thanks, everybody. Oh, one more thing. We will be doing show notes for these shows, and we'll be doing one for this show as well. So if you want to read those and comment and share or whatever, we do have a website, just crimesagainstfolk.com.
Oh, is it live?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
So you can go there for show notes and maybe some extra little insights, maybe things we forgot while we were telling our stories, or
Yeah.
extra things from our guests and stuff like that. So, yeah, check it out.
We'll
And,
we'll have social media pages too.
Yep.
We kind of decided right before we started this that we're gonna, because we want to keep it. We want to make this show welcome to everybody, and if we keep it about our music, then it's gonna stay Witherword fans, which we want it to stay Witherword fans, but we want to expand beyond that too. So we're thinking about well, we are going to do different, Twitters and Facebook and Instagrams for all of this as well, just to kind of help build the show as a separate thing of Witherword featuring Witherword music, I guess, and Witherword band members.
Either
I don't
way.
know. Whatever. However you want to look at it is fine.
Yeah.
But on Thursdays, so Thursday next to the show starts on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, and Thursdays at 5 p.m. are still going to be Ed and I getting together informally, playing a bunch of whatever songs we want to play. So if you guys want to hear more of our music, tune in then.
Cool.
All right. This is so much fun. Thanks for joining our podcast, everyone. We'll have a theme song on Sunday, so you won't have to hear me sing everything. I'm a professional
Well, she is
musician.
professional, yeah. So it's fine. All right, y'all. Take care. Thanks again. We will see you on Sunday.
Featuring my dad on the banjo, apparently.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.